Recording. Thank you. I knew I was going to forget that. Inhaling for 5 minutes, you guys, I never experienced vertigo again after that. Like seriously going from flat on my back to 5 minutes later, like walking, like it switched on the brain. It flipped the things that needed to be flipped and I was good to go. So after that, I was like, well, these oils work. And so I'm going to get them. And now we use them for everything in our house. Everything. I use them on my kids, on my pets, on myself, on my husband, on my floors, on my chickens. I mean, hi, we have those too. And so we just use them for everything. And we're going to teach you tonight how to do that if you want to jump into that with us. So but I want to especially talk to you guys about the special stuff that we go through as healthcare workers. I mean, there's so much stress put on your body as a healthcare worker. There is, and I don't even have to preach to the choir, right? You guys already know this, but there's so much stress. There is the sleep disruption. There is all the stuff that you're exposed to at your work. Like you're not allowed to not have to have a sick day. Like you have to go, whether there's a pandemic or not, and make it all happen, right? And just be in the middle of all of it. So we want to talk tonight about sleep and stress relief. We want to talk about energy, like how to maintain your energy levels while you're working, because that's a big one. And we want to talk about immune support. If there's anything else that you guys want to hear about tonight, please tell us, okay? Put it in the chat and we will hit on it because it's important. So that is who I am. I want to talk to you about Young Living for a quick minute. So I did not try oils at all before I had that frankincense experience, right? I got really lucky that I started with kind of the best you could possibly start with, like that gold standard in essential oils. I had no idea, but that's probably why they worked so well. So Young Living has this promise. It's called Seed to Seal. And it is a promise that they are going to go to the highest heights to make sure that your oils are pure. We know a lot of healthcare products and more holistic products, supplements, oils included, are not regulated by the FDA. The FDA they're regulated a tiny bit, and the regulations are very, very soft. Okay. So really you could have a bottle of oil that says pure lavender, and it could be like 5% lavender and the rest just a bunch of fillers at the least and chemicals at the worst, right? Like toxic chemicals at the worst. So what that comes down to is that you need to, I think, trust the company that you're getting your oils from. And I love this about Young Living. So Seed to Seal is their gold seal standard, right? It is like farm to table eating. It's the freshest of the fresh, the best quality. They grow their botanicals in the place that they should be grown in this world, okay, which makes them a whole lot more effective for your body. I'm going to admit another person in here, someone in the waiting room. They do never use pesticides, no GMOs, no toxic chemicals or fertilizers are used on the land or on the botanicals while they're growing. Best distillation practices are used. They are not going to use any aluminum. You guys, a lot of companies use aluminum to distill their oils, and we know that that can leach into our products and then be toxic to our bodies. So I love that we can trust even down to that part, like a part that even like nobody really thinks of. They will only use stainless steel or glass for their distillation, which I love. And they are amazing with their reforestation and their ethical sourcing practices. Okay. You can go and visit a farm anytime you want. Like there are farms around the world you can drop in at the drop of it. You don't have to announce yourself. You don't have to make an appointment. They advise that you make one because then they can take you around the farm and make sure that they have somebody there to help you through and see everything, but you don't have to. And I think like for me, that is the epitome of transparency. And I'm like, okay, they've got nothing to hide if they're going to let me just drop in at any time. So I love Young Living for that. You guys, the company has huge heart and they make the freaking best oils. I've tried other ones since the time I tried Young Living and nothing works quite the same way. Nothing really smells the same either. So that is enough about that. I want to introduce my friend Jess, who is a nurse as well. I went to nursing school with her. I love her. Jess, introduce yourself a little and talk to us about your journey.
Yeah, so I know Ashley from when was that? Like 10 years ago? Less than that? I don't even remember. So I am Jess. I work in the surgical trauma ICU in Charlotte, coming up on 6 years. I am a pastor's wife. I have 3 kids, 4 and under, and we're very busy. We're doing crazy bedtime stuff before this. I made it though. But I guess my whole history with oils is a bad one. I don't know like what your, I don't know, preconceptions of oils are, but mine were terrible. So basically all I had heard about oils was that they were going to like cure cancer, and people were like, no, I'm not going to take my kid to the doctor. I just got these oils and it's going to take care of it. And I was like, you're dumb. And so anything that I heard about oils, I just like disrespected it. And I don't know, I hated on oils. But then my friend Ashley, who I love and respect from nursing school, was like posting about them. And I was like, girl, you're crazy and I love you. And yeah, so I was having this like moment of disequilibration because I had heard these bad things, not bad things, but just like psychotic things. And yet Ashley was saying like how helpful they are. And you could call me like an ultimate skeptic. I'm an Enneagram 8, so I don't trust anybody anyway. I guess like nursing background too. I'm like, tell me the science and then I'll believe you, but don't tell me like this is gonna do something crazy and just expect me to believe it. So fast forward, I had a couple years ago, I had my first 2 kids 14 months apart. So like hormones were crazy and I just like wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't sleeping. I wouldn't say that I had postpartum depression, but there was definitely something wrong with me. I was just like not happy. My husband was like, I wish you were just like happier. And I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And so at that point, I kind of would have tried anything, still just like listening to Ashley talk all the oil stuff. And I was like, I'm going to give these things a try. So I got my oils, and like immediately I noticed sleep was better. Like I would diffuse lavender in the girls' rooms and they would sleep through the night. I was like, I've got a newborn and a 15-month-old at the time, and they were both sleeping through the night, and so were we. But I was still like skeptical. I was like, nah, this is just a coincidence. And then the emotional support oils and the hormone support oils started making me feel like normal, like more normal than ever, but I still was skeptical. I was like, there's no possible way these are working. And anyway, coincidence after coincidence after coincidence, I was like, okay, these work, but why? And that started my journey in learning all the science and being nerdy. And now teaching people the science is just like a joy. Um, yeah. And so oils have just like changed so much for us. And it's crazy. It's crazy. We do still like, we are an oils and medicine family, obviously. Both of them have their place. Both of them are gifts from God, and so helpful in all the different ways. So that's kind of my little skeptic story turned believer, I'd
I
say.
love it. I feel like a freaking superhero that I turned her. I'm just going to tell you guys, I think I have a superpower. And it was turning Jess. Okay. So not turning, because that sounds great, but I'm so happy you're here, Jess. I love what she said though, you guys. This is my first stop. Okay. Medicine is a gift. When you need your medicine, I'm so grateful to have that. This is my first stop, right? We go first to the gentle things, right? To the things that are plant-based and to the things that are not toxic, that might help pull us out of whatever it is that's going on. If we need to move to the medicine, we do it. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. And also, this is always our disclaimer, which I forgot to say, but we're not here to diagnose, treat, prescribe, cure anything, because we're not doctors. And that's not, I mean, Dr. Mom, that's about it. Okay. And so that's not our role, but we can definitely give you some really good stories, some really good advice, and things that we have tried and used and really love. So let's go to Lauren. I would love to hear from you. Talk to us about yourself, but also some science. Lauren's got the science. Mic drops.
Yeah, I should have worn glasses, but I don't have them. So I'm Lauren, for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. First of all, I just want to say, like, I'm so grateful to be here and to be on this call. I myself am not a healthcare professional, but they are all very near and dear to my heart. So I want all of you to know how much I love and appreciate you. I know it's a very thankless job most of the time. So I'm here to tell you thank you and I love you. Okay, so let me tell you who I am and what makes me qualified to be on this call. I am a Young Living leader. I'm a yoga teacher. I have a master's in nutrition, but I don't practice in a healthcare setting or anything. I am married to a healthcare professional. So Kate, who's on the call, she was put in the chat, woo! She's a co-resident with Coleman. We live in Southern California, and he's training to be an emergency medicine physician. And he's actually who got me into essential oils, oddly enough. So when we were not yet dating, Coleman was attempting to win my heart. And he had a med school classmate who was a Young Living leader. She told him about oils and he's like, I feel like Lauren would be into that. So he bought me a kit and gifted it to me. And it totally worked. He totally won my heart. But like you, Jess, I was really skeptical too. When he bought it for me, I was like, I don't use essential oils. I don't know what to do with those. That's wackadoo stuff. Like, what? And because it was a gift, I felt like I needed to at least give it a chance and like figure it out and do some research. And I'm a total like science nerd. I love learning. So I really dove in and like learned all there is to learn. Found some really credible sources, and also through my own experience with the oils, once I started using them, like Jess said, all of these coincidences kept happening. And I'm like, wait a second, these are magical. So then I couldn't stop telling people about it. So here we are. I'm here to tell you briefly about the science of essential oils, because I am super passionate about it, just like Jess and every other leader who's on this call right now. So the way that I want to share the science with you is through 5 myths, okay? So I'm all about busting myths. That's what we're going to do today. 5 myth busters. So the very first myth that I have to share with you is that essential oils are just a fad. That is not true. Essential oils have been used for over 5,000 years of recorded history of usage of essential oils, whether it's biblical, Oriental medicine, think Chinese ancient practices, natural remedies, Indian medicine, Ayurveda, herbal remedies are recorded for the use of health, beauty, sexuality. Like, I mean, the list goes on and on of humans using these powerful oils and it working. If it didn't work, we wouldn't still be using them 5,000 years later, right? Like our ancestors would have stopped using them many centuries ago, and we wouldn't even know they exist. But because they still exist, they work. So that's my first myth. It's not just a fad. It's not going away. I will use them for the rest of my life. Second myth that I want to share with you is that something people sometimes say about oils, there are a few things people say about oils that are sometimes just not true. And as lightly as possible, I want to address those. So the first thing that I sometimes hear in the oily world, people will explain essential oils as the lifeblood of plants. Now that's beautiful and poetic, and I even love the sound of it, but truly it's not fact. When I think of lifeblood of something, like in humans, the blood that pumps through my veins, I couldn't live without it. For plants, essential oils are more of a byproduct than they are the lifeblood. So let's talk about plants like on a fundamental level. What is their purpose? Well, I believe God created plants and put them onto this earth to serve a function, and that is to be either food or shelter for animals and humans. That's their purpose. Now they have byproducts or metabolites, you might call them. Now I'm going to get really sciencey because I love this stuff. So bear with me here. Keep tracking. I hope you're all still with me. But metabolites like, chlorophyll, oxygen, proteins, carbohydrates, when we eat plants, we're taking in these nutrients, right? You have primary metabolites that I was just referring to. You also have secondary metabolites like phytochemicals, flavonoids, antioxidants, and constituents of essential oils. Here's where I finally get to my point. Essential oils are a metabolite of plants. So they're extracted, distilled, and bottled for you to use. And I believe God designed that to happen. Okay. In his detail-oriented ways, he created the plants to be extracted into oils for us to use. Okay. So that's my second myth. Third myth is that you can have a chemical-free home by switching to essential oils. Not true. I hear that said a lot, and that was one of the big things that I did not like about the essential oil world. I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has taken chemistry multiple times in their career. That's how you became a healthcare professional. So you know that it's impossible to have a chemical-free home. In the oil world, we all strive to eliminate toxins. And so sometimes that is misconstrued. You can have a toxic chemical almost free home, but even that is very hard to do. So I like to highlight that personally because I think that turns some people off by saying that I can remove chemicals from my home. That's just not true. We're all chemicals, right? So that's my third myth. So I've gone through 3. I'm going to wrap this up and keep us on time by going through my last 2 kind of quickly. So I sort of mentioned earlier about God designing plants to become essential oils for our bodies to use, right? So the chemical structure, the constituents that I mentioned earlier, they directly mimic and benefit your human body. God did that on purpose. It's not a coincidence. Okay. So have you ever heard of like different foods looking like the body part they benefit? Like walnuts look like a brain. They're really good for brain health. Beets are like beet red, like blood. They're really good for your circulatory system. That's not coincidence. That is intricately designed to be the way that it is. And essential oils act the same way. Their chemical structure actually benefit and mimic certain chemical structures within your body. So the premium starter kit, the kit that we in the oil world always tell you about, it's the easiest and best way to get started with Young Living. Every oil in that kit is designed to benefit you. It's not just thrown together willy-nilly. It is intentionally put together for every body system so that you can have one toolkit, literally like a toolkit for everything that you need. So if you need hormonal support, you got it. If you need sleep support, you got it. If you need energy, you got it. If you need digestive support, you got it. So I'm saying a lot of words to get to the myth of oils not being safe for ingestion. That's another myth. 5 of the oils that come in the starter kit, they have white labels. They're called Vitality oils, and they are FDA approved and considered generally safe for human consumption. Excuse me. So those oils are safe to be ingested. I get people looking at me like I'm a crazy person when I put lemon in my water sometimes. I eat lemons or rosemary. Why couldn't I ingest the oil from it? The caveat is I only trust Young Living oils to be ingested. I wouldn't ask you to go to Amazon and order lemon oil and start putting it in your water tonight. I would only safely feel comfortable using Young Livings because of the seed to seal that Ashley mentioned earlier in the call. Okay, so I'm almost done. 5th myth, I'm almost there. My 5th myth goes along those lines of, the quality. The 5th myth is that essential oils are just placebos. Sometimes, yes, they can act as placebos, but the highest quality oils are so much more than placebos. They have a physiological chemical structure and mechanism of action within your human body that make them work. And that takes us all the way back to my very first statement about oils being used for 5,000 years. If they were just placebos, that wouldn't be true. So those are my 5 myths. Thank you for letting me take up all of that time. I didn't even use my timer. I was going to time myself, but I forgot to start it. So no clue how long that took me, but I got through them all. So I think I'm passing it over to Hannah now. So if you want to take the mic from me, Hannah.
Go, Hannah.
Ash, did you want to say anything before I start? No? Okay. I'm Hannah. I am a pediatric speech language pathologist by trade. I'm a mom to a 1-year-old. She's 16 months, almost 17 months. And I'm probably opposite, I think, of most of the people helping teach today, in the sense that I actually did grow up using essential oils. My mom was the hippy dippy, crunchy, like before it was cool kind of mama. My grandmother used essential oils. Like I remember my grandmother having oils in her medicine cabinet in her bathroom. And like being 5 and like opening up all the caps and smelling all of them. So that's how I grew up. I grew up very exposed to and inundated with essential oils being part of our lifestyle. And then I got to college and I realized that that was weird. Like nobody else used them. And none of my friends knew what they were. They were like, yeah, lavender smells good, I guess. And even though we used them in my home growing up, I didn't understand like really all that they could do and all of the properties of them. I've been learning that more myself as I'm older. In school, I studied speech language pathology, and the way that those two kind of meshed for me was by the time I graduated and started practicing, I had a clinic space, like a little clinic room, and I knew certain things about my oils that could be beneficial in the clinic room. So I knew that peppermint was scientifically shown to help people like be more alert, to wake up your senses. And so I would diffuse peppermint, especially if I had a kid who maybe struggled with attending, or like if they were a sleepy kind of kiddo, I would diffuse peppermint. Or like starting in September, I diffused thieves all fall and all winter because I was always having kids come into my room sick. So I was used to using them in my clinic room. I always had rollers with me for like respiratory support, for like alertness, things like that. But what I want to talk to you about today, my little portion, is I kind of want to focus on this little drink right here called Ningxia Red. And so all of this to say, I had been using oils a long time, been using them my whole life, been using them in my clinic space. And then about 2 years ago, my husband and I were starting to think about trying to get pregnant. And Erin is on here. She's my cousin and she's my like oily queen. I text her with all my questions. And so I was like, hey, Josh and I are starting to like think about trying to get pregnant. Are there any supplements from Young Living that you would recommend me like starting to take or like have any thoughts on? And she said, you need to be drinking Ningxia Red. And I was like, okay, I really want to drink Ningxia Red, but I've just never bought it before. But I'd heard about it. So Ningxia Red, let me tell you what this is. And then I'm going to tell you how I used it as a speech therapist. I still practice speech therapy and I still use Ningxia Red today, but now I have my own practice. And so that's nice because I have a little more flexibility. And so I'm using oils throughout the day, like both in my home and as I go to different kids' houses and to schools and things like that. But Ningxia Red, this is a little packet of it. This is a 2-ounce packet. And if you get a starter kit, or if you've ever gotten a starter kit before, you know that it comes with 2 of these. But you can also buy it by the bottle, or you can buy a box of these little 2-ounce packs. Ningxia Red is a superfood drink made from whole foods and essential oils. And the primary ingredient is Ningxia wolfberries. Now, I'm going to like read you a little bit of excerpt because I was going to leave stuff out if I tried to say it from memory, but let me read you a little bit of an excerpt on this Ningxia Red juice. It's a powerful antioxidant supplement drink made from wolfberry juice, blueberry juice, pomegranate juice, apricot juice, raspberry juice, and lemon and orange essential oils. It supports immune function, liver function, and eye health, and it's reported to increase energy. It's the highest known protection against the dangerous superoxide free radicals, as documented in the SORAC test conducted by Brunswick Laboratories. It's rich in ellagic acids, polyphenols, flavonoids, vitamins, and minerals. It has 18 amino acids, 21 trace minerals, beta carotene, and vitamins B1, B2, B6, and E. It's an excellent whole food source of nutrients that gives energy and strength to the body without harmful stimulants. It also has an amazing low glycemic index of 11 that does not spike the blood sugar levels. So that's what this stuff is. I bought this stuff and then we got pregnant shortly after we had started to try, and I drank Ningxia Red throughout my entire pregnancy. So I was working 35 to 40 hours a week at my regular job. I had also started my private practice on the side. So I was working 35 to 40 hours a week at my job. And then after work, I was going to work 2 to 3 hours pretty much Monday through Friday after that, with my own private kiddos, and I was pregnant. So that should have been like, it should have been horrible the whole time. But it really never was. I had energy. I wasn't tired. My first trimester, I had probably the easiest, like, first trimester you could possibly have. The only time I felt bad was in a two-week period where I ran out of Ningxia and I wasn't drinking it for 2 weeks. And then I got my Ningxia back and I started drinking it again, and the fatigue went away, nausea went away. So I would throw these in my purse. I would take them with me to work. And in the middle of the day, when I was like, it was a midday and it would be about the time where I would start to slump or I was feeling tired, I would take a packet of Ningxia Red and I would drink it. And it provided me with an energy boost. I felt great my entire pregnancy, and I continue to drink it. I'll never not drink it anymore because of the energy that it provided for me. And overall, it's a really, really good, just overall health drink. So I know that drinking a little bit every day is supporting my health. And for me, running a business, like, me being sick is not something that, obviously none of us ever want to get sick, but I work really hard to keep my immune system strong so that I don't get sick. And Ningxia Red is part of the way that I do that. So that's a little bit of the science on that. You get 2 of those in a starter kit. That's why I wanted to mention it, because if you've ever had a starter kit, you may have opened that up and been like, that's a weird little drink. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. And it's really cool. All of the information about it, when I learned all of that, I was like, why would I not be drinking this? This can only benefit my health. So that is Ningxia Red. And Jess, is it your turn again? I think I'm passing it back to Jess or to Erin.
Yeah. and
Erin, sorry.
Han, I got to be present for Hannah's home birth with Lucy almost 18
And I
months.
had a crunchy,
The best. So
but you don't have to be crunchy to use oils. I just am.
You don't. Okay. So my name's Erin. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. Kind of like what Lauren said, to all of you healthcare workers, you really are heroes. We appreciate you. We need you. I have needed you multiple times with boys and staples in the head from playing outside. So I'm just thankful. And like Lauren said, you guys kind of are just kind of swept under the rug sometimes. You don't get thanks and praise you deserve, but we are so thankful, especially right now. But a little bit about my oil journey. I have been using oils since 2001. Yes, it is the year 2020, so that means it has been a while. And I was in college and I was dating a boy who kept pulling oil bottles out of his shave kit to use as aftershave. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cute. Like, a guy is not afraid to be crunchy. And I'm like, marry me today. That didn't happen. We actually did get married with a lot of drama and a lot of years in between. But my first experience was I went home to meet his family. And I'm from Chicago. He lives in southern Missouri. And so I was not used to Missouri roads. They are windy and curvy, unlike Illinois, which is flat farmland. And by the time I got to his house, I was like, I am so sick. I can't even see straight. Before I knew it, I was laying on his couch. I had never met his parents before. And this lady with like platinum white hair was like, her hair was draped over me and she was massaging some oils on my head, and he was at my feet, like rubbing the stuff on the bottoms of my feet. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I think I like it, but here I am. So he was doing thieves on my feet. She was doing peppermint for the nausea and the headache. And I felt like $1 million. She sent me home with a couple bottles of oil. I went home and went to order more oils. And I was like, sold. I was a retail customer with Young Living for almost 15 years because I was not one of those people who signed up with an MLM, because I was not ready to sell my soul to Satan himself. So that's why I said no for all those years. I thought they were going to take my social security number and there was going to be 900 Erin Werns on the planet. So I was so silly, you guys. That is another myth buster, that if you join an MLM, you're selling your soul to Satan. That's not true. It's actually really amazing because you get a community of just angels. It's the exact opposite of Satan. It's actually really fun. So I've been using oils ever since, you guys. I've used them on my kids, in my births, all of the things. Young Living is my full-time job. You listening tonight does not mean you are selling your soul to Young Living and now you have to go door to door and sell oils. You don't have to do that. So just know that if you're like, should I get off? Should I stay on? Should I get off? No, you're just here to hang out. So I'm talking about a Dr. Mom perspective, okay? I am not a qualified health professional in any way, shape, or form, except I am a Dr. Mom. And I am so proud of that because, you guys, to be honest, my kids have stayed pretty darn healthy through most of their life. We have had the occasional reasons to go to the doctor, and I am so thankful. But I just want to start off the bat and say, if you're a nurse or a doctor and you're watching this, you're catching it live, or you're watching the replay, Young Living and essential oils is a both and thing. You can be a nurse and use essential oils. You can be a Dr. Mom and a nurse and use essential oils. It does not disqualify you from the medical profession if you try using an immune roller down your kid's spine if they get the flu. Like, there is no rules. It is just using that intuition, that mom gut, that discernment that you have. You guys are all smart. If you're on here, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, like, you've done more school than I would ever do, and bless your hearts. Like, that's amazing. So just trust yourself and your instincts. So I just wanted to say that, both and. You can be both. You can be a surgeon and use essential oils, okay? This is okay. So I'm talking about oils for immune system support. You are going to get 12 oils in your starter kit when it comes to your doorstep, and you are going to feel like it's Christmas every day. So the 3 oils I'm going to talk to you about for immune system support are going to be thieves, lemon, and frankincense. I'm going to tell you a couple different ways you can use these, but when you think of immune system, Ash, can somebody type in immune system oils, thieves, frankincense, and lemon? I'll just start with thieves, you guys. Thieves is kind of the cornerstone of wellness in this starter kit. There is this white label, like Lauren said. So the white vitality label means safe for internal use. But this one's great to diffuse. Starting off, I would say 4 to 6 drops in your diffuser that comes with your kit. And it will smell really comforting. It'll smell like fall. You guys, thieves is a blend of clove, rosemary, lemon, eucalyptus, and cinnamon. And what these oils do, you guys, is not only boost your immune system, but it kind of acts as a shield against all the nasty things that you want to keep at bay and away from your body. I kind of printed out the story that I wanted to read to you about thieves and why it's just so precious. But so this blend, if you've been around Young Living or you've kind of been snooping on some oil posts, you're like, I've heard of that. The story of the Thieves blend it was inspired by this legend of 4 thieves who formulated a combination of clove, rosemary, lemon, eucalyptus, and cinnamon while they were stealing from the dead and dying during the plague. It was tested for its cleansing abilities. Thieves is highly effective in supporting the immune system. So these thieves they did not get sick, they got captured, and they were like, why aren't you guys dying from the plague that everyone else is? And then they told them, well, we've got a cloth, we put these herbs over our face, we breathe them in, and here we are. So when Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, heard that story, he was like, every home in the world needs this blend. So here we are. And there are so many ways, you guys, you can use your thieves to boost your immune system. The first way that I would recommend is making a thieves tea. You guys have long days. So at the end of the day, you're going to boil water. You're going to put a drop of your thieves, a drop of your lemon, and some honey, and you're just going to sip it. And that's going to be boosting your immune system while also just giving you some comfort at the end of a really long day. I love using local raw honey because that also helps when like there's seasonal allergy things happening. That local honey will help with that as well. Another way I love to use my thieves, you guys, especially I would recommend for healthcare workers, is getting some capsules. You can get these on Amazon, or these are from the Young Living website. And what you do is you get to make your own little tinctures or capsules, and the capsule comes apart, just like that. And you'll put 2 drops of thieves in here. I don't use any carrier oil. You can put some like fractionated coconut oil or almond oil, olive oil, whatever you have in there just to help it go down a little bit better. But this is safe for internal use, and you're going to be boosting your immune system. I highly recommend, if you're in the healthcare profession, that you take a thieves capsule every day to keep your immune system boosted. And then if you're a healthcare worker and you have kids, one of my favorite ways for the kiddos is to make a roller. This is so easy, you guys. These rollers, if you Google roller bottle on Amazon, there will be 900 options for you to choose from. And it is so simple. All you're going to do, this is a 10 mil roller. What you're going to do is you're going to do like 10 drops of thieves. Let's make a wellness. We'll make a wellness roller. You're going to do 10 drops of thieves, 10 drops of frankincense, and 10 drops of lemon in this roller. Fill it up, and that will be called your wellness roller. You will use it not when you start to feel sick. You will use it just to keep your immune system boosted. Roll it on the bottoms of your feet. If you're just starting out, you guys, the bottoms of your feet have the largest pores, and it will just get into your body better that way, because your skin is thicker, and so there's a little bit of a spicy oil. The cinnamon from thieves is a little spicy, so that will just help with that. I'm gonna add one more starter kit oil, peppermint, to this roller if you want a fever roller. This is great if anyone's body temperature starts to rise. We know that a fever is good. I don't know all the science behind it, but I do know that when I have a fever, it's my body working the way God designed it. But just for comfort and just to help the kids sleep a little bit better, I add peppermint to this roller and roll it down the spine, and it's just really cooling and comforting to them. So that is my wellness roller. Add the peppermint for a little fever reducer roller. Lemon oil. I already told you to put it in your thieves tea, but lemon is super high in antioxidants, you guys. There's a constituent in here called limonene, Limonene. Google it. I can't tell you how amazing it is, but it's great. I love to be using this for clarity. So it will help like kind of brighten your thoughts, your day. Any citrus oil is mood boosting and uplifting. So if you're like on a, you have 312s and you're like, oh man, I'm on day 3, get some lemon oil in your diffuser. You can actually just smell it from the bottle and you'll feel it awaken your senses. It's really, really uplifting. Like I said, you can sip it in your tea. And just a mom hack for this removes like Goo Gone Sharpie off of things. So it will make the nurse mom not rage at the children. So get the lemon in your life. And then last but not least, you guys, for immune system, my number one would be frankincense. Any Google search of frankincense will come up with a lot of incredible ways to use this oil. It's great for your skin, but its number one use is for immune system support. You can put a drop on the roof of your mouth if you have a headache. If you start to feel like your immune system is dropping a little bit, you can just put a drop like right under your tongue. Like Ashley said, it's great for vertigo if you're just feeling off, nauseous. Peppermint and frankincense just like inhaled together is super, super great for that. And Jess is going to talk about, so that's all I have for immune system, you guys. Those would be like my top 3: frankincense, lemon, and thieves, and praise the Lord, they come in your kit. But Jess is going to talk about stress. And I just wanted to say on the immune system side, if you're stressed and not taking care of yourself that way, you guys, your immune system is going to be lowered. So make sure you listen up as she talks about ways you can use oils for stress relief, because that is like so key. So that's all I got.
Okay, so I'm gonna get a little sciencey again. I'm gonna try to go quickly, but kind of like what was said before with the seed to seal, the constituents that actually have therapeutic effect, especially like in all the ways, but especially like with emotions and stress. If you get a grocery store oil or one from Amazon, it is not going to have therapeutic effect, even if it says 100% therapeutic oil, whatever. So just to note, if you like listen to this and you're like, I'm gonna go get some lavender from the grocery store, it's probably like not gonna do what I'm about to talk about. So one thing about essential oils that's amazing is that they can directly, it's the only sense of the five senses that can affect your limbic system. So the limbic system of the brain is directly connected to parts of the brain that control heart rate, blood pressure, respiratory rate, stress and anxiety. It's referred to as the anxiety switch, actually, the limbic system is connected to emotions, hormones, memory, immunity, and sleep kind of in particular. So when you're smelling an oil, it's not just like, oh, that smells nice, it makes me feel better. There's actually physiological and psychological effects that are happening. So I want to talk specifically about the stress response. So say you see a bear, or like in the middle of the night, somebody bangs on your door and you wake up and you're like wide awake. This is your stress response. So your brain is perceiving a threat, and there is this chain reaction that happens. Your adrenal glands excrete adrenaline and cortisol, which are the stress hormones. Adrenaline is going to increase your blood pressure, increase your heart rate, increase your respiratory rate to get the blood moving, get the oxygen going to your brain, going to your fists if you're going to punch somebody or if you're going to run away, depending on what's your fight or flight. The other night, I almost punched my husband in the face because he snuck up on me in the middle of the night, and I was changing a diaper and I almost punched him. So I am a fighter apparently and not a flighter. But so this fight or flight, when this is happening, these hormones are actually shutting down or slowing down even any system that is not necessary or that's getting in the way. So it's going to keep you from sleeping. It's going to slow down your digestion, slow down your immunity, slow down or like inhibit your like hormone regulation. It's going to freak everything out. And this is good because you don't want to sleep when you have a bear climbing around your campsite. I don't know. Like this is protective things that's happening. So it's a really great thing that's happening. Now, if you are in a constant state of stress, like if you struggle with stress, chronic stress, anxiety, this is obviously where it gets problematic. Sustained perceived threat in your body causes sustained cortisol and adrenaline release in your body, which means that you probably have trouble sleeping. You probably have tons of gut issues. You probably are sick all the time. All of these things are related, and that is not good. So one of the things that is so amazing that I've learned about essential oils is that they can affect your limbic system and directly affect your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight. And they can actually, some of them, like from the starter kit specifically, like lavender, valor, peace and calming, stress away, they can actually suppress the sympathetic nervous system. So they're suppressing cortisol and adrenaline production that's going to be continuously happening. And at the same time, they're actually increasing production of the parasympathetic, the rest and digest system. So it's going to be helping like your digestion and your hormones to regulate again, and your body to be able to like naturally fall asleep again. So that's kind of how it's able to affect your stress levels. I will say some people will get an oil and they'll like smell it one time and they'll be like, I'm still stressed out. If you want to lose weight or like get some abs, you're not going to do 10 sit-ups and expect to have a pack of abs. Like that's just not how it works. It's the same way with decreasing your stress levels. I don't think I noticed like a significant change in my emotional state being postpartum with my two girls until like a month of being consistent with the oils, because it was just so much built up, and that's how long. And your body is so effective at bringing the oils in and sending them out that you need to be frequently using your oils, frequently sniffing your valor, frequently whatever. So the other thing that they can affect or, help is sleep. So this was one of the first things that I was able to see when we started using oils with my girls. They started sleeping through the night, and my husband, who would wake up at like 3 in the morning with crazy anxiety. He was sleeping through the night too. And praise Jesus for the oils. But lavender in particular is able to decrease activity in the central nervous system. So what we do is we diffuse it. We diffuse lavender and peace and calming at night along with cedarwood. Cedarwood's outside the starter kit, but it is like the first oil I always suggest that people get because it actually, the constituents in cedarwood actually stimulate your pineal gland, which secretes melatonin. So it encourages your body's natural melatonin production. So we usually do lavender, cedarwood, and peace and calming in the diffusers. We put lavender, and there's like a Kid Sense Sleepy Eyes that we put on the girls' spines, and that helps to decrease central nervous system activity. Put it on the feet, just like get lavender all over everywhere because it's going to bring everything down. It is truly calming. We put it in the girls' baths at night. Like we are just like slinging lavender everywhere at night because we're trying to calm everybody down. And yeah, like Erin was saying, like immunity, sleep, and stress all go hand in hand. So if you like feel like you're struggling with stress, you feel like you're always getting sick, you feel like you can't sleep, those are like a big dance. So try, I don't know, looking at all of those, using the oils for all of those angles. And that's kind of all I have to say. Ash, you're next.
Yep, I'm up. Thank you so much, Jess. Girls, so good. Is anybody learning anything? Does anybody have questions? Make sure you put them in the chat, and I'm gonna breeze through my little energy part because energy and getting through a long, hard shift is really important, or just a long, hard day if you're not like a shifty, kind of a medical person. So shifty, not in like in a whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go through energy. Number one for energy. If you guys have an oil nearby, if you guys are all oil people, just grab it. Grab one. And I would say peppermint. If you're brand new to oils, don't do this with peppermint. It's going to be okay. There's Lauren. She's not brand new. But if you have peppermint or something else nearby, grab it. And you're going to do a little bit in your hand. Okay. If it's peppermint, just a tiny bit will do. Okay. And then just inhale. You guys, peppermint is insane for your energy levels and to help boost your mental acuity, like your alertness. Okay. So in the middle of like in my night shift days, peppermint was my 2:30, 3 a.m. go-to. It was like, if the peppermint wasn't there for me, I was not there for the people because it was just hard. That's the loony time. When you're not sure if anyone's going to live. You're like, I don't know. So peppermint, incredible. I would inhale. You guys, night and day difference. After I would inhale the peppermint, put a little bit on the base of your neck. Like can you guys feel it? Like the guys who inhaled something right now, even if it was peppermint or something else, like you can feel your little brain waking up. I would also put a drop, because this is a vitality oil. That means you can ingest it. I'd put a drop on my thumb and push it to the roof of my mouth. Instantly woke up the brain. Also like opened up my sinuses and stuff because it's, powerful and really good for that. Another great one, I think Erin said it, is to do that with frankincense as well. Okay. Because it's a neurological powerhouse, frankincense is. All right. Just so good for calming, but also turning on, the good things in your neurological system. Okay. So peppermint is number one. It is an adaptogen. You guys probably know what that is, but basically they go in your body, adaptogens, and they just help equal, like homeostasis. They help make everything go even and work the way they're supposed to. So you can put them on and they'll kind of know what to do. They're smart oils, right? So peppermint is one of those. And so just use it. Here's one of my tips. If you are in the middle of a shift, or in the middle of like seeing a patient or whatever, and you're like, if I put my peppermint on right now, their noses will explode because it's, it's intense and people sometimes aren't used to like the purity of oils. And so it can be a lot. And so put it on the soles of your feet. So just do it real quick. Don't do it while they're in the room, but put it on the soles of your feet, cover it back up with the socks and the shoesies, and you're good to go. They can't smell it, but it's going to work on the brain. And your brain point is on the bottom of your big toe. Okay. This goes back to like ancient Chinese medicine stuff, pressure points, acupressure, all that good stuff. So put it on the sole or the bottom of your big toe. So that's peppermint. You could also put it in your water, use stainless steel with a stainless steel straw. It cools down your digestive system. It feels so good. Your breath will smell good. Okay, so that's that. You could also put it over your kidneys, okay? Because you know, there are like your adrenal glands. That's where I'm trying to get to. So that's like helpful to calm you, but also to help your energy go up. There are other oils that are really good for your adrenals, but for the starter kit oils, stick with peppermint for that one. Okay, Citrus Fresh is another one. This is a blend of tangerine, grapefruit, lemon, mandarin, and spearmint. If you don't have it, you can imagine how good it smells. It smells like happiness in a bottle. Do the same thing. Inhale it, put it on the base of your neck, put it in your water, always in stainless steel. And you could also put it, it's great for lymph drainage. Okay. So if you get swollen, you know, swollen feet after being on your feet all day or whatever, put it on your ankles. Put it over like your lymph nodes, you know, like just kind of drain them out a little bit. Do a little lymph massage. If you don't know what that is, Google it and you'll find lymph drainage massage everywhere. And Citrus Fresh is a really good one to do that with. It increases creativity, increases happiness, and it's super cleansing to the body. Okay. You can also put a little bit on your ears because it'll make you happy, on your earlobes. There are lots of emotional points on the earlobes as well. All right. Raven is another one. Raven is incredible for your respiratory system, which is what we really want to support in these months, especially. Put it on your chest or on the soles of your feet if you're like, that's going to be really strong for the people around me. But Raven, it will wake you up, okay? And it will keep your energy levels nice and high. You'll be feeling good. And then Valor is my last one. Have we talked about Valor? A little bit, yeah, Jess did. Okay, so Valor is our bravery in a bottle. If you are just feeling rattled by whatever is happening in your workday, or whatever just happened in your workday, or going into a hard work day, Valor is going to be your best friend on the chest. Inhaled, put it behind your ears, on your wrists, bottom of the big toe. Valor is incredible. Take it with you everywhere you go. You guys, I mean, if you're superheroes, you need bravery, right? This is bravery in a bottle. Has everybody here smelled Valor? Valor in the mask, yes, which gets me to my mask sprays, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Has everybody tried Valor? It's the best. Lindsay Elmore is a pharmacist, speaks so much over. Yes. So, okay. I love you guys. Go look in the chat. If you want more, if you're like, I can't get enough science, go to Lindsay Elmore. Also, Erin, did you put Discover LSP in there or no? So Erin's going to put a link to an online store where we get all of our like big, fat, sciencey, amazing books where we learn all these things. There are lots and lots of studies. You can go to is it PubMD? What is it? PubMed. What? PubMed, and you can search essential oil studies like by a specific oil and cool stuff will come up. So there is tons. It's just, you know, there's not much money in essential oils. You guys know what I'm saying? So there's not a ton of money to throw at lots and lots of crazy studies that get put out everywhere. And so it's harder. You got to dig a little bit harder to find your good, solid research on oils, but it is there. And I encourage you to do your own research. Try them out. If you are drawn to this kind of a thing, try it out. Once you know, okay? When you know, and then you will know. All right, so I'm going to talk about mask spray. Okay, you guys, if you invited someone in there here, I want you to, I'm going to drop a link in the chat because this is how you claim your free like herbal mask spray. I can make all different kinds and I put it in this little Google doc or Google form that you can tell me which kind you want. So I have like one that's great for the immune system. I have one that is great for stress relief. I have a mask spray I can make you that is Lauren Cowart. It says you're waiting in the waiting room. That's wild. Is that normal? Okay, I'm gonna let you in. So welcome. Okay. Okay, and I have all different kinds. You can read it on there and do a little multiple choice checklist. But if you brought somebody and and the person who came, the inviter and the invitee, you guys go to that little Google form link and you can fill it out right now, or you can fill it out as soon as we're done and I will send you something. So you're gonna put your little address in there and everything else and I won't come find you, I promise. I'm a little weird, but I'm not that weird. And I think that's everything. Erin, you want to finish us out and then we can take questions if there were any.
Yes. So, okay. That was so good, Ash. And you guys, the mask spray is amazing. love it. I did a little like girls' night out about like 3 weeks ago, and I brought mask spray, and everyone loved them so much. So, okay, there was one oil that you guys are going to get in your kit that we didn't hit on, and it's DiGize. So I'm assuming sometimes my sister-in-law is a nurse, and so I know that a lot of times different people bring in lunches, and sometimes it's hard to turn down all of the yummy treats. And DiGize is an oil that you will want to keep with you because this is going to be for tummy troubles, and it will help bring down the bloating, and it will help keep those embarrassing moments not embarrassing when you try to go back into somebody's room. I'm just assuming that maybe that happened. I don't know. But DiGize comes in your kit, and it's fabulous for digestive support, gastrointestinal health, all of those things. So you guys, the starter kit is what you get when you enroll with Young Living. It is the best value. It is over $400, and you get it for $165. So when you get this kit, you guys, it will come to you within 1 to 2 weeks. And we are just saying a buffer because COVID, okay? The FedEx guy is like, I'm overworked. Everyone's ordering things. Please help me. So it will come within 1 to 2 weeks. We will be all over it. So your kit will come like this. You'll take it off, and you'll get this lovely box of 12 oils. But I just wanted to show you guys, there's a trap door on the bottom, and it has all the goodies in it that Hannah talked about, the Ningxia Red. You're going to get some bonus things that we'll tell you about in an email. You will get like hand sanitizer and a thief spray, all the good things. And then the diffuser that you see behind Ashley is our absolute favorite diffuser that comes with your starter kit. It's called the Desert Mist. The best thing, you guys, is it runs for 10 hours. So when you get home from a shift, you can fill it up, and it will run all night. So it will go off automatically. So that is the absolute best way to get started with Young Living. The way to become a member is to use the member number of the person that invited you, because it's a referral link. So if you need to text them right now, if you need to email them, if you need to call them because you're like, I need this in my life, go ahead and do that right now. And I'm sure a lot is going through your heads like, okay, these oils sound amazing and cool. Like, I want to try them, but I'm scared. But I want to try them, but I'm a nurse. I don't do that. Like, all of these things. Just try them, okay? We will be here to answer any questions that you have along your journey. When you get your kit, you can be like, okay, friend, what do I do with the oils now? You will get access to a secret oils group called the Darling Oils Team. It is like the best part. The community is the best part. There's dilution guides in there. There's FAQs, there's recipes, everything that you will need. You'll get probably like a little welcome package. It's always a surprise, but you will have the community. So if you are ready to get started, and let me tell you guys, fall and winter months, in my personal Dr. Mom opinion, is the best time to get started with oils, because it's a great time, like the girl said, to start using the oils to boost your immune system and just get them in your body, smell them, all the things. So check with the person that invited you. You can even start the enrollment process right now by going to youngliving.com, and you will click become a member. All that means is you will get 24% off for a lifetime. You're not roped into any monthly buying, but if you do love your oils, our rewards program is the best, but you're going to love them. And I'm so excited for you to get started.
Yay. Okay, that's everything. I am looking at the chat. Thank you, girls. Thank you to the hosts for hosting and for teaching. And you guys are awesome. Just dream team for sure. I don't see any questions, but if you had a question, we just didn't see it, repost it. No shame. Okay, repost it, because then I'll see it. But I just wanted to show you the mask spray. It's cute. It's got a little, it says mask spray on it. And then you just shake it, because it's going to have witch hazel in it. And then your oil, whichever one you decide. And then you just spray it on your mask to keep things fresh, to keep your mind like at ease, or to help your immune system, whichever one you decide to choose. So we're going to send you a little gift pack, a little starter, gift to help you get started. One of my favorite books about oils and how to use them, and some other little fun stuff to welcome you, just to the oil life and to get you started on the right foot. So I don't see any other questions, guys, but if you want the link to this after I upload it to YouTube, I will give it to you. Just message me
If you have friends too that want to, if you're like, I need to send this to my friends, just let us know and we'll get that to you so you can share it with them.
Yep. And we do lots and lots of classes like this. Like you said, like Erin said, the two of us, she and I run Darling Oils. We love it. It's what we do every day. It's a wellness community. That's the one that you get to be a part of as soon as you grab your kit. And we do classes like this multiple times a week. We have so much fun. And it's just kind of like our main passion to help people kind of harness the power of these oils and run with it. And so that is everything for tonight. If you guys have questions you didn't want to ask, message me or message one of our leader girls on here and we would be so happy to help you. So have a good night, friends. Thank you.